Have you ever walked past a blackjack table in a casino and just felt a buzz? You know that feeling that a table is hot? Well, we're going to break that feeling down today. We're going to figure out if a table can really be on a winning streak, or if it's all just a powerful myth that might be costing you money.
You've heard it a million times, right? That excited whisper from another player, "Hey, this table is hot, you gotta jump in now." It's this magnetic idea, the idea that a piece of felt and wood can somehow get momentum, that it has a memory, and that you can ride that wave to a big win.
So, here's the big question for today. Are these streaks actually real, or is it just a trick of the mind? We're about to peel back all those layers of gut feelings and intuition to see what the cold, hard math of blackjack really has to say about it. Okay, first things first, let's really pin down what we're talking about. When a player says a table is hot, what's really going on in their head? Let's break down the myth itself.
It's a pretty simple idea, but man is it powerful. A hot table just feels electric, doesn't it? The chips are stacking up, everyone's high-fiving, the dealer keeps busting. And then you've got the opposite, a cold table. It feels completely cursed, like every single card the dealer pulls is exactly the wrong one.
And this belief, it totally drives people's actions. You see players literally running over to a hot table. They start betting bigger, trying to catch that lightning in a bottle, and just as fast, you'll see people get up and leave a cold table, sometimes even switching seats to try and, reset their luck. It feels like you're doing something, like you're taking control. But are you really?
All right, so if that's the myth, what's the actual mathematical reality? Let's dive into the truth about streaks, where we put that feeling of momentum up against the hard facts of probability.
Now, this is where things get really interesting. The feeling of a streak is absolutely real. You will for sure see wins and losses clumped together. Just think about flipping a coin. If you flip it enough times, you're bound to get a run of 5 or 6 heads in a row. That's not momentum. That's just a totally normal and expected part of randomness.
And there's actually a name for this in statistics. It's called variance. It's just the natural ebb and flow of results. See, over thousands and thousands of hands, the math is going to play out exactly as predicted. But in the short term, like the hour you're sitting at the table, variance is what creates those wild swings that feel just like hot and cold streaks, even though the actual odds haven't changed one bit.
So why is this illusion so convincing? Well, it's our own brains working against us. We are hardwired to be pattern-seeking machines. We're built to find order even where there's only chaos. And then you've got something called recency bias, which means those 3 hands you just won feel way, way more important than the hundreds of totally random hands that came before them. And all of this leads us to what is maybe the single most important concept in blackjack, and the very reason why chasing these streaks is a huge mathematical mistake. You gotta remember, every single hand is a brand new hand.
Here's the bottom line. Because the cards are reshuffled regularly, the deck has no memory. Zero. Each deal is a completely fresh, independent event. The cards have no idea that you just won 3 hands in a row, and they definitely don't care that you lost the last 5. The odds reset to the exact same starting point every single time.
And that's exactly why the whole hot table idea is the total opposite of a real strategy like card counting. See, card counting is all about what's left in the deck. It's forward-looking. The hot table belief, it's based entirely on what already happened, which, because of independence, has absolutely zero impact on what's about to happen next.
This entire way of thinking actually has a name. It's called the gambler's fallacy. It's that mistaken belief that the game is somehow going to correct itself. Thinking things like, well, the dealer has to bust soon, is a classic example. But blackjack doesn't correct for streaks, it just keeps dealing cards with the same fixed probabilities over and over again.
So, okay, we've busted the myth. It's a total misunderstanding of how probability works. But you might be thinking, is it really that big of a deal? And the answer is, yes, absolutely. Believing in hot and cold tables has a direct impact on your wallet, and trust me, it's not a good one. This slide here lays out the dangerous chain reaction perfectly. It all starts when you notice a random streak. Then you assign meaning to it. You decide the table is hot. That feeling starts to override your logic, your strategy. You abandon disciplined betting, and that is the critical mistake. The errors you make chasing that imaginary streak are what really cost you money, not the temperature of the table.
So what's the antidote to this flawed thinking? It really comes down to one word: discipline. The smart play is to actually fight your own instincts. You have to react to those streaks with perfect consistency.
That means sticking to your bet size, following basic strategy on every single hand, and treating those recent wins and losses as what they really are, just meaningless noise. I think this line just sums it up perfectly. All those short-term swings, the wins, the losses, that's all just random noise. The signal, the thing that actually gives you the best possible chance to win, is the discipline to stick with a mathematically sound strategy no matter what.
So the next time you sit down at a blackjack table, I want you to ask yourself this one question. Are you playing the cards that are actually in front of you based on sound strategy? Or are you playing a story that you're just telling yourself in your head? Believe me, knowing the difference is everything.